Michael Timmins, Cowboy Junkies. Welcome to noise11.com.
Thank you.
And great to hear the news. We're getting you back in Australia less than 2 years after you were here last, or just about the same time, about 2 years.
2-3 years. Yeah, almost three, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so which is pretty good stuff, because we went for a very long time before we even got you here the first time, and then a very long time in between number one and number two.
And then there was about 3 delays of that last time because of COVID. So I think that tour got pushed back like 3 or 4 years. I think it was supposed to happen right at the start of COVID, and then we rebooked it and had to push it again. So yeah, so we're getting back there while the getting back's good, you know.
And you must be very comfortable here. We've got the same bloke on the back of our coins as you do.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time you were down here, there was quite a lot of the covers. You had the covers album out. I know, that was influencing the songs going into the set list, but some marvelous choices in there. And, I want to talk to you about the Neil Young covers that you did, because not only did you have 2 Neil Young covers on that album, but then, that also flipped over into Sharon as well, and you did Powderfinger.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's quite a chunk of Neil that you were covering at that time.
Well, we always have a lot of Neil in our catalog. We don't necessarily play it every night, but we're always carrying in the repertoire we're carrying. We usually can play, at a moment's notice, Powderfinger, To Let It Bring You Down. We also do a version of Tired Eyes occasionally. And then for a while we were playing Helpless, and so yeah. I mean, we probably do 1 Neil Young song a night, maybe sometimes 2. It depends. We don't. It's funny, with a lot of cover songs, we don't necessarily think in them in terms of covers. Once we start playing them live, they just become part of our repertoire. And some nights I'll look back on a set list and see, oh yeah, we played 2 Neil Young songs tonight, but it wasn't necessarily intentional or even thought about. It was just like the songs made sense in the context of where we were playing, what we were doing, and what felt right.
And also with the Rolling Stones, the choice of No Expectations and Dead Flowers I found quite fascinating as well, because you also had a Graham Parsons that was in that mix. And very few people have put that tie together with Graham Parsons and the influence that he was having on the Rolling Stones at that time when they started to countryfy some of their music on Sticky Fingers and Exile. What's Graham Parsons to you as a musician? How influential was he?
I mean, I don't think at the time when he was alive necessarily that influential. We were pretty young when he was alive, but the stuff he did later with the Stones and as it came around, and stuff he did with Emmylou Harris and some of the Flying Burrito Brothers that we sort of got back into as we got older. We began to sort of go back deeper into what he did. Those were pretty big. So not only did we cover those Graham Parsons Stones influence songs, we also did. Ooh, Las Vegas, which is Emmylou, Graham Parsons song they did together, and we also did Hot Burrito #1 for a long time. We did that song too as a burrito song. So, that whole era, that whole genre, that sort of the first cycle of rock meets country music, was pretty important to us. It's a music that obviously influenced us as when we went on to form our own band and look at writing songs.
Because I guess, with this band, there is such a long history of great songs that are original songs that you have. But because I think we first heard of this band down in this country via the Lou Reed cover, Sweet Jane, and that seems to have solidified around the band and carried forward. When people think of Cowboy Junkies in Australia, they're probably thinking of your Lou Reed cover. But in reality, there's so much more. That comes from within the band.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't think you survive 40 years with having just one cover song. So, but Sweet Jane's obviously an extremely important song to us. It was, it became especially attached to Natural Born Killers in the soundtrack. It became very popular around the world through that movie, and we still play it. It's still a really important song to us. And Lou Reed, of course, and the Velvet Underground were again huge influences on us at an early stages of our career. So yeah, it all sort of fits in. It all goes into the mash, and then but most importantly, as you say, is our originals. That's really what we're about, and I think that's what carries us forward mainly.
So 40 years, as you mentioned, and it's a 40th anniversary tour that we're getting down here. 40 years of not only being in the one band together, but being siblings.
Yep.
How do you balance that relationship of the family and the workers all together? Basically, you can't escape each other. You go to work
No.
and they're all there too.
Well, we take lots of we take when we're off the road, we sort of try and stay away from each other as much as we can. It's communication, it's just obviously there's 6 kids in the family, so and there's just three of us in the band, 3 siblings in the band, and for whatever reason, the 3 of us work. We work together. We know what each of us does. We know what we bring to the band. We know what our responsibilities are, and we have those very defined kind of parameters of what we're supposed to do, and communication. We just talk a lot. If something's not working for somebody, we figure out how to make it work for everybody. So it's just a lot of communication and enjoying what we do. That's the big part.
Now, since you were in Australia last time, you've had the new album, Such Ferocious Beauty. And, it's a deeply personal album. It must have been a very, I would imagine, a difficult album, but also a joyous album to make at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of songs on there are about our dad, who was going through dementia at the time, and died shortly after the recording of the record. And he was at home during the time, and it was also during COVID, so we kept him home, and we sort of took charge of his care. So it was quite an intense period of time with COVID and with our dad, and so all that sort of gets fed into the record, into a lot of the lyrics, and I think we're very proud of the record. It's a testament to him. It's nice when you can sort of create something out of what is this intense grief, but also this sort of celebration of his life and who he was, and his connection to us and what he meant to us. So yeah, it's an intense record, but it's there's a lot of joy in there too.
Because it's such an intense record, is it difficult to decide to perform those songs live?
Not really. Once you decide to write a song about something, that in the back of our head means we're going to play it live. That's sort of our commitment. So if something's too personal, then I wouldn't write the song. So no, I mean, I think as long as the song is honest and we're then there's no reason not to play it.
There's been something like 24 albums over the years, but when I was looking at a recent set list, 4 albums stood out: the Trinity Sessions, the Caution Horses, All That Reckoning, Songs from the Recollection, all had multiple songs per album in the one set list. Do you gravitate to those particular albums for any reason?
No, again, that from night to night it could change. Like right now, you wouldn't see many songs or any songs from Songs of the Recollection on the set list. Trinity Session and Caution Horses are important records for us and for our audience. So there's always some Trinity. There's always like 2 or 3 songs from Trinity, sometimes more. And Caution Horses, usually there's 2 or maybe a couple songs every night, because those are very important records. And again, lay it down. Sometimes there's no songs, but often there could be 3 or 4 songs. It depends. With this tour, with the 40th anniversary tour, since we are sort of celebrating the entire catalog, I'm trying to make sure that the whole gamut's covered. We can't touch every album, but we can at least touch every era, right? So very early stuff, and then sort of a middle period, and then a few obscurities here and there, and then some new stuff as well. So I'm trying to make sure that everything's sort of covered. We're sort of showing the breadth of what we do.
What albums are you personally most proud of?
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan. It's kind of an obscure record of ours called "At the End of Paths Taken." It's a very important record to us. And then trying to think what other. Lay It Down. Lay It Down is a very important record for all sorts of different reasons. So those are a couple of them. I mean, I like, and I go through periods of like really liking specific records and songs on them, and then sort of letting them go for a bit. But right now, those are pretty important ones.
You've dabbled a bit in movies over the years. How important to that? Is that sort of a sideshow for you, a bit of a hobby, or how seriously do you take it?
I don't. I mean, if I get a job, I take it pretty seriously, but I don't hustle for it. So it's generally they kind of have to fall in my lap, and so I'll get some connection through somebody who will ask me if I'm interested, and if it sounds like an interesting project, and I'll and I have the time, because they're very time intensive. Then I'll do them. But I like doing them a lot. I really do enjoy them. But everybody does them now, right? Every musician on the planet wants to do movies, so it's hard to get them. And I'm not much of a hustler, so I don't get out there and try and hustle for them. So it's been a couple of years since I've done one. But and again, every now and then one will fall in my lap, and I'll do it. It's fun. I really enjoy it.
From the experience and my view of things, musicians make better actors than actors make singers.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, David Duchovny, stop.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to the shows coming down here, New Zealand as well. So you've got four New Zealand. Then we get into November, and off you go through Australia. So it's going to be great to get you back down here for Cowboy Junkies in 2025.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's a perfect time of year for us too, because it's just heading into winter up here, so we get to go down there and pretend that we're going back into spring and summer. So it'll be fun.
And yes, not only does Australia and Canada share the same bloke on the back of the coin, so does New Zealand.
No, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for your time, Mark. It's been great to catch up with you, and look forward to seeing you back down in Australia in a few weeks.
Great. See you soon. Thanks a lot.